Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And I think the time has come for a revolution. I think we need to march onto the courts of this country. We need to take every single judge out of their chambers and give them the option of which way they'd like to be dispatched. With a rope, with a squad, drowning, quartering, put into a grinder. I don't particularly care. Because our judges are not only not fit for purpose, but represent a clear and present danger to the people of this country. We need to eradicate every single judge in this country and replace them with people who've got a spine, testicles, and an understanding of what it actually means to punish people. I'm just going to go straight into this article. I'm going to read it. I'm going to make a few comments. And then I'm going to come up. I'm going to try not to get angry. And then I'm going to leave it to you, good people. Now, this beggars belief. How can any judge do what this judge has done and call himself a judge? This judge should be marched up a scaffold, shown a short rope and a short drop. And he should not be the only judge to do it. Because, well, let's just get into this article. It is unbelievable. Afghan offender, you can read that word, gets short sentence for trying to cut teen's throat on public bus. There's the picture, and he's trying to slaughter him like an animal. Because that's what they do. That's what they do. They slaughter animals like that. They put them up and and that's how that man sees that teen boy. Like an animal for the slaughter. So an Afghan migrant who is still in Britain, despite being convicted of 23 offences, some of which were SAs, assaults of a sexual nature, has received a short sentence for trying to slaughter a teen boy like an animal on the floor of a public bus in Runcorn in England. Hamid Akhundzada, who arrived in Britain supposedly aged 16, claiming to be a refugee from Afghanistan's Western-backed government 10 years ago, evidently faced no significant punishments for his many, many crimes, including assault of a sexual nature, given he was a free man last March when the attack took place. Why is this man, why is he not back in Afghanistan? Or better still, why has he not been put up against a wall and had judgment visited upon him? Chester Crown Court heard Akhundzada, who claimed he was close to God, heard voices, held his 17-year-old victim's head, now at that age legally a child, head back and drew a bladed article described as a steak knife across his throat, as one may slaughter an animal, after sitting behind him and his girlfriend, 16, on a public bus. Despite this shocking testimony recounted in the Liverpool Echo court report and CCTV of the attack, prosecutors did not charge him for attempted M. The victim's throat was not fully opened. Oh, so that's all right then. Although he required glue and stitches to stem the bleeding, and his girlfriend was also injured. But he accepted a guilty plea to the relatively minor crimes of Section 18 wounding with intent and having a bladed article in public. He was also convicted of assaulting an emergency worker, having beaten a prison guard so brutally that he was left unconscious for minutes sometime after being taken into custody. For this, the career violent criminal and offender was handed 4 years. 4 years. He will do 2. So effectively 2 years. Judge Michael Leeming did this, and despite a lot of tough talk about how his record for V and S assault was a statutory aggravating factor. Judge Michael Leeming. And as I say, he'll do 2 years, because it should be noted that prisoners sentenced to non-life sentences in Britain almost never serve their full term behind bars, being entitled to an automatic early release on licence, halfway or more rarely 2/3 of the way through their sentence. Breitbart London has asked Chester Crown Court to clarify the details of Akhundzada's sentences. No response has been received. There's Akhundzada, a man who slaughters children like animals and gets 2 years. What the actual fuck is this country coming to when a man with 23 convictions prior to this, then another 4 convictions, including what should have been attempted M, gets 2 years and is allowed to remain, instead of what should happen in a justice-filled world, in a right world, in a proper world. This man would be hanged. This man would not see the light of day again, or indeed another dawn. I'm coming up. What is wrong with the judges in this country? What is wrong with our legal system? Firstly, why is he allowed to remain in this country after breaking 1 law, never mind 23? Why is he still given permission to remain after what he's just done? Why is he given 2 years? On whose side are the judges? Now, if you have vermin in your house, you call an exterminator. You don't promote them. You don't allow them to remain. You don't feed them. I can get very angry and I'm going to stop. We need to do something about the judges in this country. We need to do something about the politicians in this country to give them backbones and spines and balls so that they can deal with problems before they even get to the courts. But then once they do get to the courts, we need judges who will deal with it properly. This should have been 30 years. If this man comes out in 2 years and commits another crime, that judge needs to sit in the same jail cell. And if that man who's been convicted M's someone, that judge is guilty of the same crime. Any judge who releases someone who then commits a crime should be guilty of the same crime. Let's see then if people like that are going to be given 2 years. It's a joke. Anyway, I'm going to stop now. The anger inside me over this. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notification of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. Do not trust the police, do not trust the judges, do not trust the legal system, and vote for better politicians. Goodbye.